course I collect Funko related products, but is there anything else that I collect? Ooh, what's up guys? It's MD Shady, and in today's video we're going to be showing off all of my collections basically that I have, because Funko is not the only thing that I collect. I actually collect a ton of stuff. Some might say too much. So basically in today's video we're going to go through some of my different collections. A lot of my stuff I do have like packaged away in boxes that I don't really have on display, but I will show most of my stuff that is on display and a couple of things that I haven't really found room to display quite yet. So the first things that I'm going to show off, and I'm not going to show off a bunch, I'm actually only going to show off a couple of items, is wrestling related products, whether that being the Mattel Elite or basic figures, the LJNs, the Hasbros, or the Jack specific figures. I collect basically all of them. I've been collecting wrestling figures for so long, probably since I was about 4 or 5 years old. So I definitely have quite a few of those, and it's not just WWE. I also collect the AEW figures as well, and I also have like weird obscure items that I collect for wrestling, whether it is these two different bars of soap that I have from the Attitude Era with The Rock and Stone Cold. So different things like that. And I'm not going to show off all of my wrestling related products because there is quite a few, and like I said, some of those stuff are packed away in boxes. And then another thing that I collect a lot of is Pokemon cards. I have a ton of Pokemon cards. Recently I've been getting back into it a lot more than I was, and I have a ton. I have almost all of base set. I have almost all of Jungle and like Team Rocket and Fossil, like all of those OG sets, but I also have a lot of new stuff as well. And basically I'm going to show off this binder, which, if I'm not mistaken, yes, this is the brand new set of Pokemon 151 in this binder, which is an awesome set that we have opened some product up on the channel before. So basically I'm just going to skim through here so you can see basically how I have the whole set basically laid out in the binder by number, and then you get to closer to the end. So the end of the set is basically here where you have the trainers, and then I also have some of the Illustrator rares and the full art rares. And then there's that Charizard, that's an amazing card. And then you have some of the basic energies as well, and I have a whole bunch of room in here for more stuff. And this last page in the binder is basically the promos that I have thus far from Pokemon 151. And like I said, with base set and all those, I did actually have this binder right here, and I don't know why there's cards missing right now. I must have used them to do something. But this is basically just the 151 Pokemon. This is not like full base set or full jungle, anything like that. They're just laid out by number for their like first cards. So I really love this. I almost have it all completed. There are a few cards that I am missing, but I do have a lot of the heavy hitters like your Charizard, your Venusaur, your Blastoise, which is amazing. And then I believe once you flip through, you start getting into a lot of my like secret rares or like ultra rares here, where there's a ton of different stuff. Like 3 Mews right there, if you can see that. And yeah, just a ton of different cards that I didn't really have anywhere else to put besides in a binder like this. And then another thing that I collect a lot of is vinyl records. Again, I'm not going to show everything, but if you guys want to see any of these collections that I'm showing off in further detail, definitely leave a comment down below and let me know what collections you'd like to see in a future video, because I'd love to show off like every single item of a certain collection. So I will show off a few different items that I have for vinyl. This is one of my newer ones, Morbid Stuff by Pup, which is a kind of local band to where we live. Then I have Marvelous by Young Gravy. I love this album, and there's a poster that came with this, which is really awesome as well. I got Scaled and Icy by 21 Pilots. This is a great album as well. Love this album. This art is really awesome on this as well. I have a couple different Hobo Johnson vinyls for both of his albums. I picked them up actually at the show when I saw him a couple of years back. And then one of my more crazy vinyl sets here is Inside by Bo Burnham. This is a like, I think there's four vinyls in here, and they're just amazing. I guess I'll open it up and show you guys what I'm talking about, because there's just a lot of stuff packed into this, whether it's these like art prints that you get with it or the vinyls themselves, which are really dang cool. So yeah, you get 3 with this vinyl set, and I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera or not, but as you can see, this one has like a green sleeve over the actual record itself. So if you see there, you can see Bo Burnham's face, like a close-up shot, but then when you pull it out, the picture actually changes. I don't know how well you can actually tell, but it's just such a neat idea that Bo did with this album, where I don't know what the word for it is exactly, but it's just so interesting how with each one of these you can switch the like covers over each one, and then it shows a different picture essentially. But that's just some of my newer vinyl. I also have a pretty decent collection of like original pressings of, let's say, Kiss and Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. And I also have some different like weird obscure vinyls, like let's say for like Sesame Street or the Muppets or like Mr. Dressup, just weird stuff like that. I love collecting vinyl because there's such a like an array of different products that you can get, whether it is to music or just like weird things like I said with like the Muppet Show. All right, so more collections that I have here. This shelf is all basically Nintendo figures. I have more of like a Smash Brothers section down here where it's basically characters that are in Smash. And then up here it is just a bunch of random little things, whether it is McDonald's products or other little figures that I've picked up throughout collecting. And then right here is one of my absolute favorite collections. I've been collecting these basically my whole life, and that is basically just stuff from the movie Small Soldiers. Me and DK are both huge fans of this movie, and yeah, I've had a lot of these toys basically my entire life. And there's a random Biker Mice from Mars. That's a really awesome figure. I've had that forever too. So yeah, these are awesome. I'm always picking up new stuff if I can find it. It's starting to get hard because there wasn't a ton of product for this movie, but that makes it so much more interesting to collect. I also love collecting NECA figures. Here's just a couple of small examples of what I have in my collection. We have Weird Al from the White and Nerdy music video. We got Predator there, and then we also have Bob Ross. And then over here we do have Ace Ventura with a couple movies, and I believe there's a book back there too, so that's a nice little shelf for him. And then before I show off all of my actual Lego stuff, here is the Adidas Superstar shoe. That's an awesome set. And then down here is more of a really obscure shelf. I will open this up. This is just a lot of random, kind of nostalgic stuff in here. So we'll go through some of the stuff that's in here. Back there you can see there is like Showbiz Pizza. We also have Chuck E. Cheese stuff. We got But Ugly Martians, Casper the Ghost, more Biker Mice from Mars. There's an E.T. hanging out back there. Rainbow Bright. We do have some like promotional cans and bottles of stuff. One of those being Freedom 35 from Trailer Park Boys. Down here we got some Kinder Egg stuff. We got some Steve Irwins. There's a what do you call that? A sea monkey over there, which is really interesting. There is a Michael Jackson back there as well. Then down here we have some different cups and stuff. JJ the Jet Plane, which I found a couple years ago, and I thought that was hilarious because I had forgotten all about that show. And then we do have a bunch of different wrestling cups and other different obscure cups. And then the top shelf on this side, we do have my sealed VHS products down there, which is really cool. I like finding sealed VHS because you don't really find them too often. We have some figures from Eureka's Castle, which I believe was from Burger King or Wendy's or Taco Bell, something like that, back in the 90s. Then we have some other stuff down here, California Raisins. We got a Duff beer there. We got that Yoda cup back there. And then down low, there's just some more stuff. There's another Duff beer, it looks like. Then we have some of those Pepsi cans with Michael Jackson, Ray Charles, and Britney Spears. And it looks like there's a vintage Canadian $5 bill, which I thought was an interesting one as well. Then moving on to some of my Lego collection, we have some Overwatch stuff up here. We got some Star Wars stuff as well as Spider-Man. Then we get down here and things get a little bit clustered. We have the Winnie the Pooh set right there. We have this like fake office set that's not actually Lego. If we come around here, we do have Central Perk from Friends. This is a great set, which looks just so good. Then making our way down to the second shelf, we have the actual Lego office set, which is an amazing set. I had such a fun time building that. We have the Sesame Street set down there. Then we also have both ends here, if you can see in there, of the Friends apartments, which are awesome. And then on the bottom shelf, we do have the Mega Construx Pokemon. Still collecting these, but I haven't picked up any in a while. But these are really cool little figures as well. Another thing that I collect a lot of is board games. I do plan on purging a lot of these, but I have a ton of board games packed into here. So now moving on to my completely unorganized movie room, I have a lot of sorting to do in here. We do have one of my main cabinets, which has all of my WWF/WWE VHS tapes on this door right here, and then there are some holiday movies there. And then on this side we do have some more like superhero VHS tapes, and then of course just some random stuff here. Little Nicky, one of my favorite movies of all time. And then on the inside we do have some like complete series. We have a couple Family Guy in there, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. We have the complete series of Weeds, some random stuff, some Yu-Gi-Oh, some Simpsons there. We have Futurama, Inuyasha, it looks like Fraggle Rock in the corner there, Golden Girls, That 70s Show. Down there we have Back to the Future as well as Mario, and then a bunch of WWF/WWE DVDs that I've been collecting. And then when we look above this shelf itself, we do have some random VHS and DVDs here, some pretty cool stuff as well. And it looks like most of this stack right here is a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff. And then we do have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man kind of looking us over right here. Then we have the Cause Frankenberry cereal box, which is actually still sealed with the cereal in it. Then right here we do have this VHS tape of Sailor Moon, which is actually signed by the director of the English dub. I'm actually friends with him, which is really awesome. He is a regular at the bar that I work at, so I get to talk to him fairly frequently, and that's awesome. He tells me a lot about like what went into making Sailor Moon, at least turning it into the English dub. And then here we have a shelf with more themed stuff. This is of course all Christmas stuff, if you can't tell. There's Jingle All the Way, one of DK's favorite movies to watch at the holiday times. Then down here we have some Warner Brothers stuff, Batman, Superman, Jetsons, Space Jam, and then we do have two different copies of Small Soldiers. Like I said earlier, I love collecting Small Soldiers stuff, so I needed to get both the clamshell as well as the cardboard sleeve for that VHS tape. Then we have more Scooby-Doo. I also love Scooby-Doo so much, so I want to get basically all of the VHS releases that I can find. Down here it looks like we got some more Scooby-Doo, but this is mostly Pokemon, and there's Willy Wonka there, which is really cool. More Pokemon at the bottom. And then this shelf, which seems to be missing some VHS tapes right now, I must have been watching them, is a bunch of Disney. I did have all of the Black Diamond Classics ones, so they must just be out and about right now. But then we have a ton of different stuff. Down here it looks like we have some Nickelodeon stuff, some Barney, and then here we have all my Jim Henson movies, which are just amazing. And like I said, I have a ton more movies in boxes, so I got a lot of sorting to do. Here's some Family Guy Mezco figures right there, which I'm gonna have to find a spot to hook those up as well, or not hook them up, but display them, because I really want to get a complete set of those as well. And then if you do see here, I do have 3 bass guitars, so yeah, I gotta find another place to put those. Then right here we have the Spider-Man DVD TV. I picked this up at a garage sale for 10 bucks, and oh, so awesome. I love this. I really want the Shrek one, but it's amazing to get the Spider-Man one as well, especially for a low price of 10 bucks. And then here we have one of my grail items. We have the Burger King toy display for Small Soldiers with all the toys there. That was an amazing pickup that I found on Facebook Marketplace, and I was super excited about that one. And then one of my favorite shelves in my collection is my Gremlins collection. Love this so much. There's a lot of different stuff in here, and I have picked up more items, so I think I'm gonna have to get a new shelf because this one's pretty dang full. So first we start off with some of the NECA figures. I do have some in box that I haven't really taken out of the package yet. And then down here we do have more that are out of the package. There's Greta back there. That's an amazing figure. The Daffy, that's hilarious as well. Then moving down here, we do have a bunch of these little figures. Last year, I believe it was, bought this advent calendar that had these little minifigures in them, and they are so cool. You even get like some of the puffballs there and some of the Gremlins eggs. Really, really awesome. There we have some Gremlins movies, the clamshell, as well as the cardboard sleeve. We got the DVDs for both 1 and 2. I am missing the VHS tape for number 2. I'm always on the lookout for it. I don't really want to go to eBay to buy it, so I really want to find it at like a Goodwill or a Value Village, but I haven't had much luck yet. Up top we have a couple of plush, then we have the Gizmo Chia Pet. We got some vintage buttons here. I believe there's another one down there as well. And then we have a lot of my Funko products for Gremlins. There's the final 2-pack. Then we have a couple different pops here, like the Flashing Gremlin, Greta, we got Gizmo, we got the Funko Shop exclusive Daffy there. Here we do have 2 NECA bobbleheads for Gremlins. That's really cool. And then there's more Funko Pops in the back there with the OG set as well as that FYE exclusive. And then there we have the Pop Rides of Gizmo in the red car. And then just some more random items, and oh yeah, there's John Cena and his autograph. Then moving on to my next collection, which is my Palisades Muppet figures, and you will have to excuse me as I do have my fish tank right here, so you can hear the filter going off. But here is my Palisades figures. I do have a complete collection of the base figures for the Palisades Muppets. I am missing a lot of the exclusives, but I do have one of the exclusives here being the 2004 eBay exclusive of the Swedish Chef as Santa Claus. Then we got some different stuff up here. We have the Swedish Chef Kitchen. We got the Dr. Bunsen Honeydew Lab there, which is really cool. We got Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem with Animal way back there slapping the skins. Down here it looks like we have most of Wave 1, I believe this is. And then down here we have some other random stuff. Yeah, really awesome. And then over here we also do have the Pigs in Space set, which is really sweet. I found this for a great deal at our local flea market. Then I also do have some random figures in this detail shelf. We do have a lot of the NECA turtle figures, and it looks like, who is that? Is that Leo? Yeah, it looks like Leo's fallen over, so I'm gonna have to pick him up. Down here we do have some of these figures. I forget what they're called, but basically they were like promotional figures for clothing stores to show off like different brands like Obey as well as Echo and DC back there, which is really interesting. And then down at this bottom shelf we do have some of the Stranger Things figures, and of course it looks like the Demogorgon has fallen over and taken some casualties with him. And then I guess a collection that I have been working on slowly is my skateboard collection. Here we do have the Supreme Smurfs board as well as the Funko Zombie Bart board, which is so cool. Then here we have some Stranger Things posters, of course, the Demogorgon there for the first one for Stranger Things 1, Stranger Things 2, Stranger Things 3, and then the poster for Stranger Things 4 as well, which is so cool. And then you make your way up the stairs and you get to see my Washington Capitals collection. Here we have a vintage flag banner, which is really cool, my clock, then my picture of the Washington Capitals from their Stanley Cup win in 2018. Some other random stuff. There's a flag that I haven't taken out of the package yet. We got a picture of Alexander Ovechkin, a Washington Capitals scarf up there. Then to cover the window, I do have a Washington Capitals blanket. Then we have some random other stuff here, some cool cards. It looks like, what is that, a decal of some sorts. Then over this side it looks like we do have like a beer pint, and then I also have a Scentsy burner that is Washington Capitals. And then on the inside of this cabinet I need to get new lights because these ones have thus stopped working, but we do have some pretty cool stuff in here. Stanley Cup, a big Alexander Ovechkin. There is the Hockey News magazine from when they won the cup, the McDonald's and Tim Hortons sticks, the McDonald's helmet there, the Stanley Cup ring that I got, of course it is just a replica. Then we do have the Nicky 1000 points apple. They gave these to people at the game when Nicky got his 1000th point. Of course I wasn't there, so I did go to eBay for that one, but I'm really glad that I got a piece of Washington history with that one. Down low we got another Ovechkin figure there for the All-Star, whatever it is, I can't remember exactly what it's called. Then we have some different cards that are more valuable or just cooler cards, essentially. Right here we do have an Alex Ovechkin as well as Tom Wilson jersey patch piece, which is really sweet. Then we got an Ovi card that I've had in my collection for quite some time. More Ovi jersey cards right there. And then there's a really cool Ovi jersey card which has 4 different colors in it. That's really sweet. Then down low we have a lunchbox. We have Evgeny Kuznetsov signed card, Evgeny Kuznetsov jersey piece, John Carlson jersey piece. We got a John Carlson signed card right there, a Tom Wilson signed card, Braden Holtby jersey piece, as well as a Young Guns of Braden Holtby. Then we have that replica helmet there, which is really cool. And then at the bottom we got some more random stuff, some beer cozies, a wallet that I used for years throughout high school, Jaromir Jagr figure, Jaromir Jagr patch right there, which is really cool, or not patch, but jersey piece, some tattoos, and NHL 07 on the PC, which NHL 07 is one of my favorite NHL games. Then of course we have to show off the Washington Pops, all 5 Alexander Ovechkins, Braden Holtby, TJ Oshie, John Carlson. And then here we do have the Top Pops U2's figures, which I did get signed by Tristan when we seen him at Comic-Con a few years back. So that was basically most of my collections. Like I said, I do have a lot of it packed away, but what I could show you, I basically did show off, and I have a ton of stuff. So if you want to see more, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and let me know like what you want to see, because I have a bunch of stuff. But anyways, guys, that's all the time for today's video. If you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Like I said, leave a comment down below and subscribe if you're new here. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Peace in, peace out.